Hey, yo, what's the deal, man? This is the first episode of a podcast that I don't even know what the name is going to be. This is just built on the fact that I consume comedy stuff. I consume comedic stories and all that all day. People that I'm going to have on this podcast are going to be people that have their own podcasts. A lot of them either are comedians or aspire to be. I'm still on the borderline between being a comic and just being a dude that's really funny at family gatherings. I don't know. I respect the game so much. So you tell me, right? Some of y'all have seen some of the shorts and some of the content I've done with it's Moulin Rouge. You check that out on the you'll see it probably if you search the channel through and all that. This is the first video I'm doing raw to the neck. My name is Dane Got Jokes, also known by It's Danny Bo, but my name is Dane, and I've been funny since I can remember, man. So actively, like people telling me, you know what I mean, and I've respected the game. I'm a child of 1988. I've respected the game since I first came in contact with it. We're talking, Comic View on BET. We talking back when Ronaldo Ray and Bruce and all that. You know what I'm saying? Just I've always been into comedy. I watched the all types of comedy from your Drew Carey show to your Friends and all kind of stuff. Like I've been on it. Like this has just been my life. So yeah, man, it's only right. On this podcast, look, I'm looking to talk about a bunch of stuff. I want to talk about current events. I want to, put myself in some different scenarios, even with guests or whatever, and just talk about certain scenarios. What would you do if this? All kind of stuff. I want to make it something that you enjoy listening to. It doesn't have to be a movie, right? We're not in production for that, but I mean, you got to think I'm right in front of that's a whole kitchen behind me. Like we're not shooting like Kevin on stage quality video right now, right? But we look up to you. We're coming for you. That's just what we want, right? Yeah, this is what we do. So let me get into the first topic. We're gonna cover about maybe like 6 topics today that are just some of the things I had to talk about. You have to on the first episode, you got to talk about it. And with this first episode, I want to kind of make sense of what you're gonna be seeing because we got people that are coming in and subscribing because of the shorts. Each episode I come up with will be chopped up into shorts so you can consume it in pieces, right? And or if you want to watch it long form, that's cool too. Everybody got their own way of doing this, so we gotta kind of play both ends. But let's talk about Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson, right? One of the Splash Brothers. I'm from Northern California, but I'm not a Warriors fan, so I don't really have an opinion on Klay like that. I mean, he's not necessarily in the highlight of his career right now, right? Which is whatever. I think here's what I think about that whole situation, right? I don't know anything about Klay when it comes to his relationships. I don't know. I assume, listen, you stupid if you don't assume a basketball player is not a player, right? They play with basketballs and they play with women usually. That's how I go because so many women are coming at them, right? That's just what it is. I remember in high school, them was some smooth player ass niggas in high school walking around hella slow with the fade, this shit rubbing on their hair, always tired and shit, doing a light jog to class because you're not gonna get in trouble for being late. You know what I'm saying? Slide on sandals, Nike slides everywhere. They don't even wear regular shoes because you got to wear tennis shoes all day, right? And these are dudes that had a quarter of the schedule of an NBA player. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the cockiness from the football and the basketball team was unreal. You would never. They thought they were in the NBA and in the NFL already, and that's just what it was. But yeah, they got the women they wanted, and I guess you can't be ugly as shit, but they got the men they wanted, and they kept it lit like that, Follow that through college, got even stronger because college means there's a potential you get drafted to the D League or something. You going pros. You know what I'm saying? You going straight to the NBA. So there's so many opportunities. So women started flock a little bit more, and that's just how that goes, bro. But in terms of Klay, I don't know nothing about him. We just came off of a full Meg Thee Stallion like a whole court case. We learned a lot about Meg Thee Stallion. Was she promiscuous? Yeah. Here's the thing, right? We could talk about what we think she does, what we think she done. Meg Thee Stallion has always struck me personally as I didn't like when some of the girls was mean to the other girls back in the day when I was young, man, and they had like little shit to say and they were stealing their boyfriends and shit. So when I heard about the court doc and how Meg had fucked one of her friends, she had messed with one of her friends, boyfriends and all that, I ain't like that. I thought that's scandalous, especially you Meg Thee Stallion now. You know what I'm saying? So now your friends can't bring no niggas around you. Like that's crazy. That's that. But the main thing is, if you listen to Meg Thee Stallion's music, right? You listen to Meg Thee Stallion. I would have never thought Snoop Dogg was married back then when he said, you know what I'm saying, yitches ain't ish but hoes and tricks. I would have never thought he was married. He was finna be married, if not already married, when he said that. You would have never got me to believe that Snoop Dogg was married. Because of the way he talked, you know what I'm saying? The stuff he said, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, who's finna marry him? Ice Cube, okay, whatever. Ice Cube, but like we're talking about actual womanizer type lyrics, like he did the pimping and all that, like Sugar Free, married happily on a regular marriage didn't make no sense. A lot of rappers that were like womanizer had womanizer lyrics and all that. I didn't think they was gonna get married. I never cared. You know what I'm saying? That's them, but I didn't think he was gonna get married. You feel me? So when you got Meg Thee Stallion, Meg Thee Stallion, if you listen to Meg Thee Stallion's album, the only thing you're gonna learn about her is that she like to have sex. She believes she's better than your girl at it. She'll steal you from your girl. Her vagina is really wet. And she's just all around better than it. It's literally like the shit men used to rap about back in the day in girl form, right? It don't make it no better. So to me, off the rip, I didn't think that was the kind of person that was going to end up in a long-term happy relationship. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? That's just not something I thought. Back when, what's her name? Back when Offset and Cardi B was together, right? Married. I'm still confused as to who the fuck think these relationships is gonna last. Why are we playing with ourselves, bro? Like, why are we jerking ourselves off here, buddy? What are we doing here? Like, is this really life? Like, we really like? Is that how we live in life? We are pretending that these are serious relationships. That shit is crazy to me, bro. That shit is crazy to me. How you can have? What about Meg Thee Stallion make you think she? I'm not gonna call her no hoe because you really gotta know somebody to call them a hoe. You know what I'm saying? What about Meg Thee Stallion make you think that you could marry her and then things will be normal? To me, and this is just to me, Meg Thee Stallion will fight your mom, shoot at your sister, bust the windows out your car, and try to have sex with your father. That sounds like Meg Thee Stallion to me. That little whole scenario with Tory Lanez, to me, sound like a drunken night with a bopper. If you don't know what a bopper is, that's Northern California slang for HOE, a 304. You know what I'm saying? Not the money making ones, just the one that be doing it to do it. You know, y'all might have heard that other places that comes from Northern California. That's not Blueface, none of that. That comes from up top. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what that is. That's how I feel about it. Again, I don't know her though. All I have is the music. They said, look past the music. Look, okay. Well, when I look at the case, she didn't have sex with somebody. The girl said that she had sex with her boyfriend. So you fucking people, you fucking your friends' boyfriends. That's whole activity. That's whole activity. If I had sex, I'm married though, but if I had sex with one of my friends' girlfriends, that wouldn't make me no hoe. That's whole activity, bro. Like regardless, like you could try to put sugar on that all you want, sugarcoat that shit all you want. A hoe is a hoe, man or woman. It is what it is. You feel me? Cardi B and Offset. Who? If somebody said this for the marry Offset, I'm supposed to say what I'm supposed to say. Good idea. Offset. One half of the Migos, all they do is talk about selling dope and fucking girls. Okay. Y'all do your thing. Y'all love each other, do your thing. Right? Y'all go have fun. The problem is that a lot of these people, right? Same thing for Cardi B. Cardi B said she was drugging niggas and taking their money. What? That's not who I'm gonna have kiss my daughter to sleep at night. I'm not having children with that. I'm cool. To be honest, I'm not even. I wouldn't even fuck Cardi. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I wouldn't even hit. I don't know if you slide in that. I don't know what you pull out. I don't know, and I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't know her. I'm not saying I can. I'm not even saying I could. I'm just saying I wouldn't. That's all. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm just some regular nigga in the regular world, but don't mind me. I'm just, you feel me? Now, when it comes to that situation, you know, Meg and Klay is, I'm not sure the quality Klay brings. Evidently, he cheated, I guess. So there you go. We got the proof already. So, I mean, he's not much better than maybe some of the other niggas she done dated. I don't know, right? But they were like, oh well, you know, they're talking about Ciara and all that, and you know, so and so played football. So you know, Ciara and Meg are in two entirely different people, right? You don't even have to listen to an interview of both of them. Listen to them both talk. Listen to their music. Because one dated something. Like, you have to understand too. When you go out on dates with people, you date people like as a woman, you're just dating people, right? You might have dated 3 or 4 people. That's fine. 3 or 4 people in the industry. She made a mistake and fucked with Future, and niggas got mad when she left him and got a better scenario. She grew out of Future. She realized Future was. She probably realized Future was not her future, and that's what it is. You know how many square females get with niggas like that and wait till them niggas halfway ruin their lives and then realize, oh, it ain't. He get a song talking about how he fucked a bitch, somebody else bitch, with some Gucci flip flops. Listen, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Well, we got to stop deceiving ourselves. You have to look at Meg Thee Stallion and understand that Meg Thee Stallion is Snoop Dogg in the 90s, Snoop Dogg in the early 2000s. That's not. If you put a ring on her, finger, I would say, if I put a ring on her finger, it's because I'm filthy rich and I'm gonna cheat anyway. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Like, I don't intend on that lasting. I don't. She either gonna cheat on me, or she ain't gonna be worth a damn, or she gonna try to find a way to split my money, take my money at the end of the day. Because I don't see her as a person that's able to sit there and be in a relationship and everything work out good. I don't know. I don't see it. Again, I don't know her though. Offset, no. Offset's not having no long-term committed relationship. Future, no. We ain't having no long-term committed relationship. That's not happening. That's not happening. It's the niggas y'all laugh at that have the good long-term relationships, because y'all still think loving people ain't cool. So as long as y'all 30-something years old thinking loving people ain't cool, that's cool. That's up to you. Y'all do what y'all gotta do. Y'all, yeah, I'm way more gamed up than that. Man, let's move on. Let's move up to the music scene, right? Let me touch on this real quick. The music scene, right? So the LA music scene in particular. LA got this thing going on right now where where people up top, up in the Bay Area, up in Northern California, where I'm at. I'm up in Sacramento, right? People up top really consider them, basically taking Bay Area style, right? And a lot of people talk about it, right? Did LA take the Bay Area style? Did LA take the Bay Area's production? Did LA take the Bay Area's rap style? They didn't take the Bay Area's rap style. Did they take their style of production? I'm gonna say yeah. Production from the Bay Area has, they have taken the production. And the reason why I'm gonna say that is, if I listen to like DJ Mustard and all that kind of shit, that sounds just like Bay Area Hyphy music. Did they listen to our shit? Yeah. Yeah, they did. All of it, probably not. You know what I'm saying? But did they listen to it? Yeah. During the Jerkin era, that's when a lot of the stuff started doing this. Because in the Jerkin era, remember Jerkin, that was LA. And remember that? Jerkin was an LA dance. And everybody up and down California did it. All over the world they was doing it, but for sure in Cali. So if you think about that, you think about the production and all that, cool. Right? It is what it is. So I think that's when the blending first started happening. I'm an 80s baby. I grew up on that mob music. I grew up on Felsky, IMP, Cool Nut, San Quinn, Keek the Sneak, Dangerous Dane, all that. I grew up on all that, Delinquents, all that. So when you start talking about all that, it's a whole different sound. But when Hyphy came out, that's what changed the game. That's when you get your new style of Keek the Sneak, your Federation, the Pack. You know what I'm saying? Lil B, all that. And then slightly after that is when Jerkin came out. So you know what I mean? I think that's when the flip flop happened. And then from then on, it felt like, oh, okay, well, we're just kind of taking each other's sound. Nah, because LA has more hands in the pot. LA has more eyes on them. So when LA does it, LA gets recognized for it. We don't. That's what I don't like. I did hear a couple things on the podcast where they're talking about LA, like LA versus Chicago. LA versus Chicago. Let me breeze over that pretty quickly. LA versus Chicago is something that, here's what I want people to take from this, right? Both cities have gangs. Both cities are active. Both cities you could lose your life in. Let's not make it dope to compare who's doing what the most. Because what ends up happening is people will take that to the street and lives will get lost and people will start counting those like it's funny. LA and Chicago are two places in the US, some of the only places in the US that really are just, they keep count. You know what I'm saying? Oh, 20 enemies died this year. Next year, 26. Next year, 30. LA is famous for something called 100 Days, 100 Nights. They asked a dude from LA what happened. He said, man, the wrong dude got killed. Right? So I don't even see why it's that discussion is my point. My input on that is both cities are very violent and we don't want no more violence from none of them. Right? That shouldn't be a goal. There should be no verse, nothing. Chicago seems like they have a skewed outlook on LA. I think that's fine. I just think that with that skewed outlook, don't go through South Central. Right? Don't go through certain parts of West LA. Don't go through certain parts of East, South, right? Stay out of South Central. Stay out of Compton and Watts. It's places in Hawthorne you need to stay out of, stay in Hollywood, Windsor, stay in Hollywood, all that. Do that. Don't hit anywhere around the edges of South Central and on the South Central. Don't do it. I'm not from LA, but you can get there. You can get hit before your hat. You can get hit for your hat. right? You can get hit at a swap meet with your girlfriend. You can get hit at the mall. It's just what it is. And you're out of your element if you're from Chicago. Same thing as somebody from LA go to Chicago. Same scenario. You don't know. We gonna move on though. The comedy scene as of now. Let's talk about this. Kevin Hart, the Kevin Hart Roast, right? Did they take it too far in the Kevin Hart Roast? Was the Kevin Hart Roast racist, right? I'm gonna say this. I knew something was up. I knew I was gonna hear something crazy when I saw Tony Hinchcliffe on there. Tony Hinchcliffe is funny. I watch him and David Lucas go back and forth, and a lot of the stuff is racially charged or it's about sexuality, so on and so forth, right? People usually call Tony, they usually think Tony is part of the LGBTQ family, right? You know, that's their little jokes about Tony, right? He's sweet. And it is what, you know, it's whatever. I'm pretty sure he knows that that's what it is. I mean, he knows that that's what he gets, you know, that's what he puts out, I guess, and it is what it is. The interesting thing about this, Tony Hinchcliffe, is this: that he's generally funny, mildly racist, right? Shane Gillian or Gillius, whatever, he might throw some racial shit out there, but he's not. If you watch his shit, he doesn't really come off racist. He comes off just a regular American guy trying to make sense of it. He doesn't really seem to dislike anybody. It's just not an energy I get from him. Tony Hinchcliffe, though, I'm gonna keep it a buck. That joke at the end about rest in peace, the brother not being able to breathe from below, that wasn't funny. It didn't tie into anything. It wasn't a callback to anything clear to me. It just wasn't funny. It was usually dark humor has a habit of you need to build up to it. Watch Corey Holcomb. Corey Holcomb has jokes about flushing fetuses down toilets. And you could have watched everything Corey has ever said. And you'd be like, wait, what is Dane talking about? And you have to think about, I know what he's talking. Because in your mind, it was so funny. It couldn't have been fetuses going down the toilet. No. He said, bye, little guy, as it went down the toilet. And I was in tears. I've watched countless stand-ups, specials, all that type of stuff. Comedy Central presents. I'd have watched a lot of that stuff from him, and I'd also went and saw him live. Like I said, I live this comedy. I live this, right? I think when it comes to Tony Hinchcliffe, I'm not sure what made him do that joke, but I remember him being pink as a motherfucker. You remember him on stage? He was pink as shit. Like and he's not pink on his own show. And he wasn't pink the majority of the time he was up there. But when it got to that, I think he knew something was off. Right? And honestly, it seemed like they all knew something was coming when he got up on stage. Right? And I think that even Shane Gillian, whatever his name is, Cuzzo was like, you know, he would make little comments to make us know, let us know he's like kind of like that dude is over there. You know, here go the racism's part of it. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. Watch it again and peep the things he says. You know, peep the things he says. Racism. Ah, man, that right there, it just wasn't funny. And when it's not funny, we have no way to take it other than you got me fucked up. What other way do we take it? There's no other way to take it, bro. You got me fucked up. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's not that you just made a boosie ass joke. You made a dark ass joke, right? That you knew would really fuck with bother some people, and you didn't even make it funny. It almost seemed like you didn't try. Now I know somebody else probably wrote it. Cuz need to get fired. Like, what are we doing? But I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. That will conclude the first episode. I'm gonna get back to you when I know what the hell this is gonna be called. It might be the Nameless Podcast, the Pod of No Name. I'll let y'all know when I come. I might smoke something and let y'all know. Try to come up with something. But I'm gonna holler at y'all, man.